Mirabela Mineração do Brasil is implementing the Santa Rita project, located in the municipality of Itajibá, near the municipality of Ipiaú, 140 kilometers from Ilhéus and approximately 400 kilometers from the city of Salvador. In this area, there is a sulfide nickel deposit of 94.4 million tons of ore with a nickel grade at 0.61%. The purpose of the project is to implement a new industrial unit in order to process 4.6 million tons of ROM of nickel ore per year, a capacity which may be expanded without restriction to 6.4 million. The production will be around 155,400 tons per year of nickel concentrate at 13%. Tailings dam and processing plant construction is at a fast pace in order to begin the operation in the first semester of 2009. Nickel recovery will be done by open pit mining and the transport by 100 and 150-ton trucks. The mine ore, recovered in blocks at a maximum size of 1 meter, will feed the primary crushing, comprised of a giratory crusher, which will fragment the material to a granulometry smaller than 250 millimeters. The crushed product will be transported and stockpiled by conveyor belt. The crushed ore stockpile will have a 15,000-ton capacity, providing for 18 hours of independent operation. The purpose of the subsequent processes is to concentrate, that is, increase nickel grade from 0.61% to 13%. In order to do that, the nickel must be separated from the other materials. The crushed ore is recovered by plate feeders, and it is transported by a conveyor belt to feed the semi-autogenous mill, the SAG. This mill function is to reduce material granulometry from 250 millimeters to below 100 millimeter grains. In this stage, water is added to the process. At SAG's discharge, there is a trommel with a 12 millimeter opening. The grains larger than 12 millimeters are sent to a pebble crusher, and after being crushed, they are sent back to feed the SAG mill, closing the circuit. The trommel grains, smaller than 12 millimeters, are pumped to a battery of 8 26-inch classifying cyclones. The cyclone overflow material, with a granulometry 80% under 0.125 millimeters, ideal for flotation process, will gravitate to the conditioning and feed tank. A protection screen before this tank feed will take out foreign materials which may have been added to the pulp. The cyclone's underflow, with granulometry over 0.125 millimeters, will gravitate to the ball mill feed, where its granulometry will be reduced to be fed again in the cyclone's battery. This circuit alters the granulometry of all the material that left the stockpile from a 250 millimeter granulometry to a 0.125 millimeter granulometry before it reaches the flotation. The flotation is a stage of ore concentration which separates the relevant nickel ore from mineral with no commercial value, or gungy ore. In the flotation tank, called cell, there is a compressed air mechanic agitator. Due to reagent action, nickel ore is added to air bubbles, and floats through the cell top, the floated material, and gangior leaves through the cell bottom. Before the flotation cells, there's a conditioning and feed tank where reagents are added, a collector, an activator, and a frother. This tank will have a pulp agitator to provide a better contact between ore grains and reagents. The pulp conditioned in the tank will feed the flotation cells through overflow. In order to obtain the necessary grade, the ore needs to be processed at many stages of flotation. At the initial stage, rougher, the first separation occurs, from which a low-grade concentrate and tailings, still rich in nickel ore, are obtained. For this reason, these tailings can't be discharged and go to an ore recovery stage called scavenger. After the scavenger stage, the tailings are sent to the tailings thickener to recover the water, and afterwards they go to the tailings dam. All overflow recovered water from the thickeners and from the tailings dam will be reused in the processing plant as processed water. The concentrate from the rougher, along with the recovered material from the scavenger, goes to a second cleaning stage in the cleaner, where the purpose is to increase nickel ore concentration. Tailings from the cleaner go to the scavenger cleaner for better recovery. Then the concentrate from the two stages goes to the last stage, recleaner, in which the target grade is obtained through a final cleaning. The tailings from the scavenger cleaner and recleaner are still too rich to be discharged, so they go back to the process. Concentrate from the recleaner, before feeding the concentrate thickener, will go through a protection screen in order to take out all foreign materials that may have been added to the pulp. The overflow from the concentrate thickener will gravitate to the recovery water reservoir, and the thickened underflow, up to 65% weight of concentration approximately, will be pumped to the filtering, stabilization, and feed tank. From there, the material will be pumped to the press filter feed. This filter takes out the most part of the concentrate water through suction, leaving it with only 9% humidity. After filtering, the concentrate goes to the storage room. From this room, the concentrate will be reclaimed by wheel loader and transported by trucks to the port of Ilhéus. The recovery water from filtering will return to the concentrate thickener through pumping. Project Santa Rita has an area dedicated to storage and blast preparing. This area was designed according to the highest safety standards so as to avoid risk to its employees and neighboring communities. The installations were checked and licensed by the Brazilian Army in order to comply with all international safety norms. In order to recover and process the nickel, several support services are needed, such as vehicle maintenance, restaurants, offices, refueling, and storage. In order to fulfill its commitment to neighboring communities, Mirabela intends to have most of these services done by third parties, creating more jobs and more opportunities for the region. This is being done already through qualifying and contracting of local people during the project's construction. Mirabela Mineração do Brasil is an ore-exploiting company whose basic principle is the development of the region, focusing on sustainability and responsibility. Thus, it turns mineral resources into economic development, improving quality of life for the entire community.